Okay, so in this lesson today, we want to talk about the page content element. So the page represents a web page on your site. So these links all point to page elements in an Itrium site. And when you get there, you would land on a real web page that would have a real URL and all those sorts of things. All right, so to introduce the concept of the page, we're going to use our demo page we were working on before. And I'm going to flip into Pilot here, and I'm going to show you this page. So this is the page content element. So we've already talked about text, and we've already talked about articles. So a page represents a real web page, and it has an article inside of it. That's going to be the content you're going to see when you get there. All right, and when you edit a page, there are some key features of it. So you're going to see a couple of differences here. The first is the link title. Okay, now on an article or a text element, this is a title. It's a reference title. But a link title is what we're going to use to actually produce the URL for the site. That's why we call it the link title. And if you go look at this page on the site, if you look here, it says page content element. So what we do is when you create a page, we're going to take the information in the link title and we're going to generate what we call a vanity or friendly URL off of this information. You don't have to put dashes in it or anything else. You just specify the words you want for your link title. All right, you have an optional abstract that is used if you're using search on the site, so we're going to cover that later. Typically, you will not use it, but you could do something like learn about this page. This will not display on the site when you're looking at the page, but it would display in the search results. So think about Google, that kind of thing. All right, so that's optional, so I'm going to remove that for now. Then you have a headline, right? So the headline is going to be the H1 tag that we're going to generate on the page. And you don't have to include it, but I highly recommend it because it's really important for optimizing your web pages for search. And so when you look here at the site, this is my H1 tag. Now the H1 tag is really important because search engines will look for that tag in your page as the main topic of the page. Okay, so you really want to include those all the time. If you don't like the size of it or something like that, the font here, whatever else, that's a style thing. We'll cover that separately. And then you have a way to override the anchor text. So what happens here is you create a page, you put it on the site, and you want the URL to be page content element. But when somebody's on the site, we also use that information to produce the links, right? So if we were navigating through the site and we saw a link on the site, the link would be page content element. Now, for me to show you this, let me actually move this page. This will help a little bit with this. So I'm going to take this page and I'm going to move it. I'm going to put it in my main menu for the time being, so we can see it here on the site. So when I refresh the site now, you're going to see I have a link here, right? It's page content element. But if I don't want these words to say page content element, I just want the URL to be page content element, I can change that. So I can come in here and I can edit my page and I can override the anchor text, right? So this is part of the menuing system, how we generate things. And I could say, I want the words to be page link override. So when I save this and I go back and refresh my page, the content itself is still the same, but the link in the navigation that's generated by the system has changed. So this is really important because a lot of times you're going to have maybe multiple pages on the site that have the same headline, right? Or the same, well, actually the same link title, right? You might have the same link in a site where in each section you have a general overview. So the link is general overview. But you want the URLs to be unique. So you need a way to make them different, right? So you might have general overview for section 1, general overview for section 2 in your URLs, and then your link would be just general overview, general overview. All right, so that's how that feature works. And then finally, the menu item class, we'll cover that when we start talking about styling on the page. But those are the basic characteristics of the page. Now, the last thing, we've already covered this, you put things in a page, right? A page is a category-based thing. And the one main thing you always put in a page is an article. You're only going to put one article in your page. But when you do that, your page is going to display the content that's in that article. All right, so now I've got a way to navigate to the page through a URL. The system knows how to generate a link for a page in the menus. And when we get to the page, we have the content that we want to display via the article. All right, so that's it for now for a page. There's other features we'll talk about later, but I want to keep things simple and easy.